King the Land episode 5 begins when crying Chin slips and falls into Gu-won's arms. He offers her a drive home, but she finds the car comfortable and sleeps. When she awakes, a surprise is waiting for her. Gu-won gifts her an outfit and shoes, taking her to a fancy restaurant to change the wet clothes. When she returns after changing the clothes, she finds both wearing a couple's outfits. She wants to change, but he doesn't allow her. Also, he arranges a dinner for her and claims that the shoes and outfit are bought without wasting any time and effort. Instead, he spends a lot of time finding matching outfits for both. Also, he put a lot of effort and time into finding the correct shoe measurement. He took the measurement by using his hand while she was sleeping. He orders a lot of food and Chin insists on paying for it, but the amount on the receipt blows her mind. Eventually, Gu-won pays for it and takes her home. While dropping her off, he gifts her the cake from King Hotel's best chef. She is about to enter, but her ex hopes in and tries to humiliate her. He insists on coming together again and even threatens her, but she gives him a shut-up call and leaves. He tries to follow her, but Gu-won stops and even breaks his fist. Now, he knows it's not good to mess with this person, so he thinks to leave from here. On the other hand, Pyong's having a bad day at the office because their team stands last in the rankings. Her boss is furious and scolds the whole crew for being careless with the sales. She is demotivated for the promotion and walks home with a heavy heart. Promotion is very important for her career because all her colleagues have been promoted except her. While entering the home, Pyong finds Chin's expensive outfit and shoes hanging in there. As a result, Da-yul and Pyong ask for the reality about who and why someone bought her such an expensive pair. They are sure he will be her suitors who have fallen for their best friend. But to clear their misunderstanding, Chin claims the dinner and cake are a professional gesture. But they ask her to exchange the gift or something in return for the boy who bought her outfit. They try to sell their products, but Chin refuses. She knows they are trying to trap her. From the bottom of her heart, she knows that they are saying right. Aside from this, Gu-won is trying to end the tradition of Super Farm Week in which the employees have to spend the whole day out. In exchange for this hectic day, they will be paid extra. Gu-won is highly against tradition, but Ms. Gu doesn't care about anything. He ruins the meeting by leaving in between. But by doing this, Gu-won is calling the wrath of Ms. Gu. Apart from this, Sang tries to change his attitude, but he is persistent. While arguing, Sang finds a photo of Gu-won with Chin in the same outfit and compels him to confess his feelings. Gu-won throws him out of the office in anger. Later, Chin asks Gu-won for a meeting after work, but he refuses to show off his busy schedule as the head manager. In reality, he is showing attitude to her, but Chin thought of not disturbing him again and stopped replying. After waiting for the reply desperately, he moves to her. So, Gu-won personally walks to her and takes her to dinner forcefully after work. She agrees on one condition, that she will pay the bill, and Gu-won gives his approval. Thus, she takes him to a famous restaurant where they have to wait in the queue and offer delicious food. In the restaurant, he has to wait, which is against his elegance, but he tolerates it only for Chin. The chef prepares the food in front of their eyes, which is new for Gu-won, and he really appreciates the hotel and the food. On the other hand, Ms. Gu meets her husband who wishes to get a divorce, but she doesn't want to hype the media. So she asks him to be with another woman but keeps the relationship intact until she wins the chairman's inheritance. She is broken, but showing her grief is against her rules. Aside from this, Gu-won tries to persuade Ms. Gu about the Farm Week decision, but he has to give up his stance. So the Farm Week starts, and Chin is sent to the mountains to meet an old farmer. The colleagues deliberately send her to a dangerous place. The scene switches to Da-yul, who is arguing with the famous movie star to clean the poop of her pet dog in the store. She creates a scene, but her assistant cleans it to end the argument, because he knows her reputation can be in danger if this continues. Further, Chin is asked to call every client one by one and ask them to check in again at the hotel by a rude senior. With a pretty smile, she is compelled to do this. Suddenly, Gu-won arrives, who is pissed off to see Chin faking the gestures and finds it highly outrageous. Later then, Chin leaves for the Farmer's Week and reaches the destinations. But the old man is out hiking. On the other hand, Gu-won is continuously worried about her. He keeps on checking the weather conditions and the routes that Chin has to take. Chin decides to go hiking and wants to meet the older man in person. After almost 2 hours of hiking, she finds a desired plant called ginseng. But the extreme weather and sloppy mountains made her fall into a rigid place. She faints while Gu-won is talking to her on the phone. He becomes restless and instantly rushes to rescue her. Aside from this, Ms. Gu is in a very professional meeting discussing the ventures and revenues of the businesses. At this time, Gu-won enters and asks for permission to take the helicopter, because he can't use a helicopter without her permission. By watching him desperate for a helicopter, she insults him and makes him beg for the helicopter. Gu-won follows her commands and she still refuses, but he takes it anyway. Knowing it can be dangerous, Sang really tries to stop him, but he has made up his mind. Reaching the place, he takes the helicopter to Chin and jumps to her in the same slopey place without considering a way out. The helicopter leaves the moment he jumps to her, and they have to wait for the next morning for a rescue team. But Chin is relieved because she is not alone and Gu-won is here to protect her. The funny thing is that Gu-won is so scared of even the tiniest sounds of the crawlers but behaves like he is not. Suddenly they notice a torch light on their heads and scream loudly. They consider him a ghost. Luckily, the old man finds them and takes them home. They are served with dinner and clothes, and old man gets angry when she reveals that Gu-won has sent her here. The next morning, Chin sweeps the old man's backyard and Gu-won joins in. They have a really good time with the broom and eventually tear it off. Gu-won admires Chin's smile and promises never to make that dangerous thing happen again. The old man comes in and thanks her for such a dedicated trip of the farm week. Chin shows him the scarce plant ginseng, and only a few can pluck it out. As a gift, she wanted to give this to the old man, but he refuses to take it because it's too precious. Also, she tries to convince him to work with him, and Chin's kind gestures and determined work inspire the old man to consider working for King Hotels. Gu-won feels jealous of the warm gestures of the old man. Hence, they leave the rare plant for Chin's grandma. When they leave, Sang is here to pick them up and Gu-won is envious of him because Chin is too lenient. Even she doesn't bother to sit with him because she considers him sir. They even enjoy snacks with each other and sit next to each other. Gu-won took Chin with him and let Sang take off for the next week. He leaves him at a restaurant because of a stomach ache, and they both head to Chin's grandmother. Now, he is relaxed and happy. The grandmother is busy with the customers of her small hotel, and makes both of them work the moment they enter. She asks Gu-won to peel off the onions and he is really bad at it. Gu-won, the owner of King Hotel, is weeping while peeling off the onion. Later, she sends both of them to buy tofu at the market, but Gu-won likes the place so much that he starts playing games and eating food. Gu-won spends a lot of money on winning the King Carp and even breaks it with the sound of an explosion of a rice puff machine. They are back home without the tofu for which they were sent to the market. But he brings flowers for grandmother and she takes it with advice. He needs to save money for his future. Also, the grandmother scolded them for being late and served them the backup in kimchi she had prepared. Gu-won doesn't know how to eat it but enjoys the meal with the most loving grandmother and Chin. She even packs some for Gu-won and offers them minimum wage for peeling the onions and bringing the rare plant for her. The grandmother greets them well while leaving and admires the manners of Gu-won. Later, Gu-won drops Chin home and lets her ask him for a date. Chin is shocked because she hasn't imagined this. In happiness, Chin smiles, blushes at the mini confession, and invites him for dinner. Gu-won offers backup to his father and he likes it. Also, he warns him to behave in a manner in the office and forbids ruining professional meetings. But he makes his father mum by asking if he has saved anyone's life. Listening to this, he appreciates his son. On the other hand, Da-yul's new supervisor is cunning and greedy and overburdened Kang with work. She asks her husband to pick up the daughter, but he refuses, exclaiming that he is busy. In fact, he is not busy and enjoying his life. Later, Chin is hosting a birthday party for a young girl in the King's Hotel. The young girl's name is Yu-rai. She flirts with Gu-won and even asks him for marriage. Gu-won also brings a present for her, as she is the daughter of their competitor, to show a warm gesture. But Chin becomes furious and scolds Sang while leaving. She is angry because Gu-won lets her hug him and considers Yu-rai as his girlfriend. Arriving at home, she feels blue, so Pyong takes out the premium cookies to cheer up her mood. Da-yul also comes in with lots of beer and food. They are partying hard and order food consecutively, dancing and singing like crazy until Gu-won hops in. Gu-won sees them partying and joins them. Da-yul and Pyong don't know he is the head manager, so they speak ill about him. Watching the ill comment, Chin tries to reveal his true identity, but Gu-won doesn't permit her to do so. So Gu-won hides his personality and plays like Chin's colleague in King's Hotel. They are excited to have a handsome boy in their house who is interested in their friend, so they behave absurdly. Watching their interruption, Gu-won asks for some time to talk privately. When they are alone, he asks her for a jealous face during the birthday party, but Chin refuses to have one. He cheers up her mood by disclosing Yu-rai is not his girlfriend. After that, he takes Chin for a walk and even saves her from a rash bike driver. They walk some steps, holding hands and talking about their next date. Aside from this, the same arrogant pervert has harassed Pyong and he blackmails her of some ugly past. He also mentions a skeleton in her cabin and threatens her about exposing her past. She begs him to say nothing until her lover comes in and changes the topic. The scene changes to the rude senior, who has been commanded to help Chin in getting ready for a conference. She is so rude for passing the orders to someone she is so jealous of and who gets promoted even with little experience and education than her. However, Chin's manager gives her a shut-up call and asks her to behave nicely. In addition, Ms. Gu has arranged a conference highlighting the generous act of saving an employee from the mountains. Chin is asked to pass the credit to Ms. Gu in her speech even when she rebels against it. But she can't because she is only a mere employee. In fact, Ms. Gu wants to attract the spotlight. Also, Gu-won gets notified that Chin is at the conference, so he follows her and is pleased to hear that Chin thanks him in front of the whole media. Chin changes the statement a bit and also mentions Gu-won's name with Ms. Gu and her saviors. As a result, he is pleased to hear thank you from her, but Sang is so pissed off at Ms. Gu's cunning act that she attracts the highlight. Although, Gu-won is more worried about the statements that Chin was forced to say in front of the media. He is worried about the unfair behavior of Ms. Gu with her. As an advisor, Sang compels him to regain power through this business and then protect whoever he wants. Gu-won thinks of taking the battle with his stepsister seriously and pulling up his sleeves to fight back. On the other hand, Ms. Gu has received the news that the Arab prince is visiting Korea and is choosing another competent hotel instead of the King Hotel. She pulls out the strings to change his decision, but he is persistent, so she gives up on him. During the next professional meeting, the chairman hands over the responsibility of calling the Arab prince to their hotel on Gu-won, and he accepts it as a challenge. In the meantime, Chin faces the rude behavior of her colleagues, who make her clean the whole hall. There is a banquet and they all have to work hard. Now, they ask her to clean this mess on her own. Luckily, Gu-won enters and he wants to help her. She teaches him to drop tablecloths and reveals her sincerity with even the smallest tasks. He is impressed with her innocent heart and sincerity in her job. To follow his father's order, Gu-won signs a contract to always say yes to the prince and obey his commands. Prince is his acquaintance and he is making fun of Gu-won by doing this. As he is convinced, he finally agrees to stay at the King's Hotel in exchange for Gu-won's services. Later, Da-yul's new manager gives them a chance to have dinner together and also discusses increasing the sales up to 20% in exchange for a foreign trip. But they have to give some extra hours to work. Da-yul also has to convince because everyone is agreed on this decision. The chairman is having a friendly dinner with his competitor, who is too much arrogant at the fact that the Arab prince chose their hotel for his stay. But soon, they get the news of the changed decision of the Arab prince, which blows up the competitor's mind. Apart from this, Sang tries to stop Gu-won from signing the contract because the Arab prince is a brat. He can ask him to do anything, even polishing his shoes, but Gu-won has to sign it because he accepted the challenge in the meeting. He has to bear every throne to pass through it. Finally, the Arab prince comes in and asks Gu-won to hold the door for him, even carrying his luggage. He is disheartened but accepts because of the contract. Also, Chin represents the King Hotel's employees and presents a handmade bracelet as a welcome gift to the prince. The prince is flattered and even passes flirtatious comments on Chin, a bone of contentment for Gu-won. He tries to resist him a lot, but he is super annoying. He keeps on flirting with Chin and making Gu-won jealous. Even he wishes to visit the palace of the Joseon dynasty with Chin. But Gu-won also joins them even though he asks him to leave. They visit the palace, and the prince treats Chin as a special guest while asking Gu-won to bring them coffee. He is super jealous but has to obey. The prince wants to experience the Korean tradition of marriage with Chin. Gu-won highly resists, but he is stubborn. He even asks him to tear apart the contract, but Chin agrees to play the marriage tradition because it is a matter of the dignity of their hotel. She moves to change her attire. When she changes her outfit, she looks Gu-won in groom's attire in front of her. Complete 500 subscribers and I will upload the next part, and watch the left video if you have missed part 2.